this PowerPoint that I created. And the PowerPoint is on the other side of me. So if you see me looking over there, that's why. But this is a journey and a workshop to really show you your body is not broken. You are simply here to reconnect. And I know like it can be really overwhelming and confusing and feel so taxing to like understand what's going on, to like have all of these symptoms pop up and be like, oh my goodness, like how do I quote unquote fix myself? I know a lot of the times we can move into that. And your body is not something that needs to be fixed. Your body is something that needs nourishment, that needs love, that needs acceptance, and needs support. So we are going to move through a PowerPoint of understanding anxiety, stress, and survival mode through the nervous system. Okay, so I just want to hear from you guys. Like, let's drop in the chat where you guys are calling in from. It sounds like most of you are in Costa Rica, which I miss so much. I love Costa Rica. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. And then drop in the chat just like one word or maybe phrase of how you're showing up today. And I will start. I am feeling very alive and vibrant. And all feelings are welcome. Like I'm also feeling a little nervous. I do one-on-one calls, haven't done a group workshop in a minute since I was traveling around Costa Rica. So even just simply naming what is alive and present for you is so fucking healing in this journey of figuring out being a human. We are also not robots. We are humans, so all emotions are really here and welcome. Vale's like better than this morning. Michelle's calling in from Costa Rica and she's excited. Another part of this nervous healing journey is we heal in community. Let me just make sure nobody else is trying to get in. Okay. We heal in community. We heal in being seen and witnessed and feeling other people feel what's going on in our lives. So just like beginning to express and being witnessed in what's fully present and alive is a way that your nervous system is already doing the healing work. Okay. So I want to see some more responses in the chat. If you guys want to come off camera, that would be beautiful. This is an interactive workshop. I really want to see you guys alive and present. Maybe we put down the phones. Like, I really appreciate your time. I'm so excited that we're all here. And that's another part of like the nervous system healing is being here where we are in the moment.
Aquí voy a decirle a Oscar, ¿verdad? Que estamos poniendo una palabra que nos haga sentir, como que represente cómo nos sentimos hoy. Puede ser una palabra corta o así. Y tratemos de estar presentes y aprovechar para que saquen al máximo provecho a lo que vamos a aprender hoy. Okay.
And Val, do you want me to pause so that you can translate?
No, like most of the people understand, so if I see that something like specific or whatever, I can let you know, but in general, like,
beautiful. Yeah, if anybody needs, like, drop it in the chat if anybody needs anything to be translated or repeated. Javier, feeling grateful, beautiful. Gratitude is so beautiful. Jose is feeling tired, still driving. Okay, thank you for being here. Vince is feeling blessed. Okay, so then I also want you guys to see, like, have you ever felt like your brain never shuts off? It's constantly spiraling. You feel exhausted, you're like wired, but feel like you can't settle, can't relax. Maybe you feel like you're overthinking everything. Maybe it was like a simple conversation that you had with someone and now it's like, wait, did I say the right thing? Did I do this right? Did I do that? Like, and your brain is just spiraling. Your body feels like tense and heavy and tight all the time. Or maybe you just get really like emotionally overwhelmed a little bit easier. So maybe like you had a reaction to something that typically wouldn't deem that reaction. So just like raise a hand, show me that you heard that. If that resonates, type in the chat like, yes, that's me. So valet, yep. Yeah, I mean, even I can resonate with this. Like my story comes from I struggled with chronic anxiety, struggled with chronic acne, I struggled with chronic autoimmune disease for years, and it all stemmed from my nervous system being deeply dysregulated, and I had no idea what was going on. Like I was going from doctor to doctor, from program to program, trying to quote unquote fix myself because I really truly thought there was something wrong with me. And I really came to realize once I shifted into more of the holistic world is there is nothing wrong. Like these are just symptoms and my body communicating to me. And it's now screaming, and we'll get a little bit more into that in a second. So before we go any further, I want us all to really just pause here, arrive, notice your space around you. I know some of you are driving, so it's okay if you can't right now, but if it feels safe and comfortable in your body, go ahead and close your eyes for just a moment. If that does not feel safe or empowering, you always have the choice to kind of just have a nice soft gaze down at the ground. And we'll just arrive in this space. So maybe the mind is running a million miles a minute already. And the goal, the intention is never to shut the mind off. It's never to get rid or suppress thoughts further. But what we can do is simply arrive in what is here. So we think 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So like, how beautiful is that? Like your brain is working, your brain is doing what it's supposed to do. And now it's time to help the body find the safety to be here, to be in this moment. So just noticing, maybe your jaw feels clenched, maybe your shoulders are up towards your ears, maybe even your belly is tight. Maybe you don't even notice like that you're being supported by this chair, and that's all okay, that's all welcome. Now noticing your breath, you might even notice like your breath feels constricted. It feels hard to like breathe deeply. And these are all symptoms and signs that your body is communicating to you, hey, I need space. I need some support. And you being here is already doing that. I'm so proud of all of you. So moving into a quick little meditation here, noticing your feet on the ground. So maybe pulling your feet up one by one, placing them on the ground, and then kind of twisting and turning them into the floor, just really feeling like the texture. Maybe it feels warm or rigid or rough. Maybe you're on hardwood floor and it feels smooth. Maybe you have shoes on. So just notice the feet. And then coming up to your glutes, feeling your sits bones on whatever is supporting you. Maybe rocking side to side, forward and backwards, and feeling your body be held and supported right here and right now. That is a sign to your nervous system. I am safe. I can be here. Coming up to your chest, noticing the breath, taking in a breath in through the nose, just breathing to where it feels comfortable in your body, and then exhaling, dropping your shoulders away from your ears. The exhale is just your chance to soften just a little bit more. There's no pressure to have it all figured out, to have your breath be super smooth or flowy. Like it's just a little bit softer maybe than the breath before. And then coming up into the jaw, taking the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And maybe this is the first time in a long time that you're connecting to your body. So if it feels hard, if it feels disconnecting, if you're like, what the hell is this? What are we doing? That's okay too. However you're showing up today is beautiful. And then slowly opening the eyes and finding a point to look at in the room. Just one point to look at that's not the computer that's also so stimulating. And I know we're always, on our phones or on our computers doing work. So really just noticing this one spot, looking for the texture, the color. and letting yourself slow down. I know it might feel uncomfortable, but I promise we're safe right here, right now. Beautiful. You can slowly come back. And I just want to hear, what did this feel like for you in the chat? Really quickly. Oh, we have 2 other people in the waiting room. I'm just going to let them in. Okay, beautiful. So if it felt hard in the chat, let me know. But if it felt like, oh yeah, I've done this before, beautiful. No, again, no matter what you showed up with, it's all welcome here. So I already shared a little bit of my story, but it did start back in college. I was going to school for speech pathology, and I felt so anxious. I thought I had ADHD. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't even focus. I have all this brain fog. What is this? Like, this all feels too much. And I remember going to a psychologist and them prescribing me medication for ADHD, and it sent me into even further spirals. I was like, this is not helping at all. I feel more overstimulated than ever before. And that's when I started having all of these different symptoms. I was so swollen. I was so puffy. Anything I did, like working out wise, eating wise, no matter what I did, I felt like my body was like just showing up with more and more symptoms. And it's because I was living so deeply disconnected from my body and trying to solve everything from my logical thinking mind. And we only experience like 10 to 20% of healing within the mind. The rest lives in our body. We have so much emotion that lives in there that we can access when we tend to our bodies. So just this reminder of like, maybe your body really isn't fighting you. And I know it feels exhausting. I know it feels hard. I know it feels heavy. I know it's like, oh my goodness, there's so much to do, so much overwhelm. And your body is simply here signaling to you, I need, time, I need space, I need support. So your nervous system is constantly asking you these 2 questions every single day. Am I safe, or do I need to protect myself? And when we are living in a fight, flight, and freeze state, it can feel like a saber-toothed tiger is constantly yelling at us. Yeah.
Andres is waiting in the waiting room.
It doesn't look like anybody else is waiting.
Okay. Let me check with him. Thank you.
So, oh yeah, and let me read. So, Ben says liberating. Molly said hard at the beginning. Michelle says relaxing. Beautiful. So with the nervous system, like I was saying, we have a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. So again, our bodies are constantly scanning, am I safe? Do I need to protect myself? And from a world that we live in that is constantly pinging emails at us, constantly pinging like responsibilities, and a world that just feels, there we go. Let me admit Andres in. Perfect. We can feel like so overwhelmed that everything feels like that tiger is screaming at us, running at us, and our body gets tight, our pupils dilate, our palms get sweaty, our heart is racing, our breath constricts, and then that leaves us in a place where the body is like, how do I heal from here? What do I do? So then all of the systems start to shut off. And that's why we see weight gain. That's why we see acne. That's why we see chronic illness, because we have someone else in the waiting room. We see so much chronic illness because the body is taking on so much. So we can think about our nervous system like a smoke alarm, which funny enough, I just lit some Palo Santo to clear some energy right before this workshop, and I lit off my fire alarm and it's going brum, 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 brum. And that's what our bodies are constantly doing. And because we are in go, go, go mode and we don't have the support, the time, the space to really be in our bodies, to connect with our bodies, our system is constantly going off. So, like we moved through a little bit in the beginning of the meditation, what happens when your body feels anxious, when it feels stressed, when it feels overwhelmed? We clench in the jaw, our chest feels heavy and tight, our stomach feels like this knot or drops. Maybe you feel nauseous all the time, or you lose your appetite. You have that shallow breathing, and your whole body or parts of it feel numb and tense. So, if anybody notices any of those symptoms, drop in the chat. That's me. I feel that. I resonate. And again, these symptoms are simply just communication. And I keep repeating myself on this because I want to really drill into your hearts and your bodies today that there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing that needs to be fixed. Simply having this beautiful awareness and acceptance of what is starts to shift the energy and helps you manifest healing within your body. And like I've had clients who have been trying so hard to, reduce their stress or lose weight or, manifest money, and they are working themselves to the ground. They're going on these really hard runs. They're doing all these things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the body, when it's been stuck in this like stressful survival mode, it needs safety. And that comes with like slowing down and adding less to your to-do list. And it comes in safe, small, consistent reminders to the body that I'm okay, I'm safe to be here. And then your inner physician turns on. Think about like a cut that you have on your arm. You cut your arm, you don't need to do anything to it. Your body is so intelligent and wise that it can heal itself. And that's what happens when we help assist the body. Our inner physician turns on, and things that maybe have been shut off for a long time, maybe the adrenal glands, which are a gland that sits on top of your kidneys that shoot out and pump out cortisol, that comes down, and the body can finally start to feel safe enough to move into its parasympathetic or rest and digest state and actually begin to relax, to breathe, to open up and find safety. Jose says, I receive about 200 messages per day through WhatsApp, and that's overwhelming. Yes, that can feel so overwhelming on the nervous system. And from work, there's a lot going on. So what we can help with that is like creating more boundaries. So maybe that doesn't feel as overwhelming. And we can talk a little bit more about that at the end. Okay, so when our nervous system gets built up with stress, it can be like a traffic jam. So think about how when you are on the road, the cars are running and things are moving smoothly, everything feels great. You're like, oh, this is really easy. Everything's flowing. Everyone's following their directions. I get from point A to point B in no time. And that's what, when our body feels nice and at its baseline, when it's for the most part in that rest and digest state, the parasympathetic system, things are moving, emotions come up, emotions flow, and we don't really get stuck in this like fight, flight, freeze energy. When the traffic jam comes in, when the body gets built up with all of this stress, all of this anxiety, all of these emotions that maybe haven't been processed for years. Maybe it's coming from generations of trauma. Maybe it's coming from different experiences or just life in general. Like life can feel really heavy, really big, really loud. The systems in our body get built up with so much. And we can visualize our body as a traffic jam. So as we start to work with the body and we kind of start to tend to those, memories, those traumas, those things, and start to remove them, the body opens up and things again start to flow a little bit easier. And this is a journey. Again, we are human beings. So, and let me admit, there is someone else in the waiting room. Beautiful. Welcome to everyone that is just hopping on. We are talking about the nervous system right now and how it feels to just be overwhelmed with emotions, with stress, with everything going on in the world, and how we can come back into the body. So, okay, taking a big, slower breath helps me every 2 hours. Beautiful. Okay. So we're gonna do a little bit of an exercise to start to help open up some of the things in the body. So you can stay seated. Place your feet on the floor if that feels comfortable for you. And remember, this is your body, this is your time, this is your space. So if anything feels like a no in your body, or it feels like, no, that doesn't resonate, you can take and leave whatever resonates, whatever doesn't with you. So placing the feet on the floor, feeling the bottoms of your glutes on whatever is holding you up, noticing the support that you have right now, and maybe again closing down the eyes if that feels safe in your body, but you have the empowered choice to keep a soft gaze down at the ground or in front of you if that feels more comfortable. And taking the arms and just turning the palms up, sweeping the arms up above your head, and then slowly bringing the hands down in front of you. So I think most of you are coming or living and hopping on this call from Costa Rica. So you have the beautiful beaches there, the grounding palm trees, the sand, the ocean. So as we sweep our hands up, I want you to invite that grounding energy in from the earth, sweeping it all the way up to the crown, the top of your head to the sky, and then slowly exhaling and bringing the hands down in front of you. And if there's anxiety here, if there's stress, if there's disconnect from the body, that's okay. We can put it to the side for right now and start to feel into the body. So as you place your palms up and sweep them up towards the sky, maybe you start to notice sensation in the palm of your hands. So here we're really like bringing all of the nutrients, the energy, life force from the earth and gently guiding it down through our bodies, feeling the groundedness of our bodies on the floor. Beautiful. We'll move through 2 more of these, reaching up towards the sky and exhaling down, bringing all of that energy down into your legs, maybe placing the palms on the legs and really just saying hello to the legs. Saying, hello body, I'm here with you, we are here. And then taking your hands and turning them into little fists and just starting to tap on the legs. So again, emotions are energy in motion. So when they get kind of stagnant or stored in the body, tapping on the body can help move these emotions, especially if we're sitting all day, if we're in the car a lot. The emotions and the energy of the body can kind of get pent up in the legs. So we're just waking up the legs here, saying hello to them, and then gently coming down to a seated position and just noticing how your legs feel right now. Maybe you feel a buzzing, maybe you feel a heat or warmth, and that is your energy flowing through your body. We'll move through 2 more little exercises here. So sitting up nice and tall, if that feels
Kat, I
comfortable.
would like to do a quick explanation for the ones that doesn't understand English completely. The first exercise we did, the one that el primer ejercicio que hicimos, que es de hacer los brazos de abajo para arriba, lo que hace es que trae la energía que viene de la tierra y la entrega hacia el cuerpo de uno. Entonces cuando uno hace este ejercicio varias veces se siente como un tingling en las manos, como un cosquilleo, y es porque estamos de cierta forma trabajando en limpiar ese estrés, esas energías del día, ¿verdad? Esa tensión que se guarda en el cuerpo. Y luego empezamos a golpear así en las piernas, y cuando terminamos de golpear también sentimos como esa sensación así en las piernas, y también esa sensación viene de una liberación energética que también está atrapada en las piernas. Hay muchas emociones que se quedan atrapadas en el cuerpo, entonces al hacer estos ejercicios liberamos un poquito el cuerpo de ese estrés, de esa ansiedad, de esas emociones, para que todo pueda fluir muchísimo mejor, como en la imagen que vimos antes del tráfico de los carros, ¿verdad? Que si quitamos los carros, entonces hay más eh, en el highway, o sea, en la carretera, hay un flujo mejor. Ok, Kat, ya.
Beautiful. So taking a moment, again, just to tune in to your body, noticing what is present and alive. And again, if this feels challenging, a lot of the times when we live in this like chronic state of stress or anxiety, we can be really disconnected. And all of the energy can be sitting up in our mind with spiraling thoughts like we talked about in the beginning. And it feels tricky or challenging or uncomfortable to connect with the body. So the next exercise we're just going to move through is a little bit of neck movement. Our vagus nerve, which is a nerve that starts and wraps around the ear, down the left side of the body, it wraps around the heart and then into the gut, and then wraps all the way back up around it, sits right at the neck. So when we stimulate and start to loosen up some of the tension that lives in the neck muscles, in the neck area, which we can be holding on to a lot of stress up here. Maybe we can resonate with, I have a lot of responsibility on me. I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I feel like I'm constantly carrying around a backpack with like 1,000 rocks inside of it. And that all is keeping the vagus nerve in this like constricted state. So the vagus nerve, when we start to, again, kind of stimulate it and open it, that can send signals to the body of I am safe, I can start to slow down my breath, I am here, and it's okay. Everything is okay. Okay, so go ahead, sit up nice and tall, find your feet on the floor again, find your comfortable seated position. Just feel yourself in space. Maybe, again, it feels comfortable to close the eyes. If not, a soft gaze down at the ground. And then just start to move the neck in one direction, and then slowly moving the neck over to the next. Moving at your own pace, but notice how fast your head wants to move and see if you can move just a little bit slower. Moving a little bit slower signals again to that nervous system, it's safe for me to be here, it's safe for me to slow down. And then slowly dropping your chin to your chest. And on your inhale, looking up at the sky. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, eyes up to the sky. And then this time, go ahead and drop one ear to your shoulder and move through a few neck circles or neck rolls. And notice, have your shoulders crept back up? Are you breathing or are you holding your breath? Just reminding the body, I am safe. I am here. It's okay to be here and show up exactly as I am. Roll your neck over to the other side. Beautiful. And see if you can challenge yourself to move just a little bit slower. Tapping into the body. Gently guiding yourself back up to a neutral position. Taking the hands right behind the ears and just gently stimulating these acupressure points. And maybe this is the first time you've really kind of like connected with yourself in this way. So maybe this feels a little weird, a little uncomfortable, or maybe you're noticing like, oh yeah, I am feeling a little bit more calm. When the nervous system starts to shift into its resting state, you start to notice more salivation, so more saliva in your mouth, which I know sounds a little funky, but again, like our digestion can shut down when we are feeling chronic anxiety and chronic stress. So it makes sense that our nervous system would be settling in a way that shows digestion is turning back on. And then coming down and bringing your hands to your chest, just moving in some circles. This is helping your heart know it's safe to be here. So the chest area holds grief, it holds burdens, it holds a lot of trauma. So we can help this area just let it know, I am here with you. I see you. I feel you. I'm so sorry. You've been going through so much. And then slowly exhaling the hands down. And here we're just going to shake out the hands. We can imagine there's this like energy because we are energy beings, right? So the energy is just kind of shaking off of us. A lot of the times we tell kids like shake the sillies out, and that can help children regulate. We are literally children in adult bodies that have not learned to kind of process and move through emotions. So sometimes bringing it back down to the basics is so important. Like a lot of the times we can get so in our minds about how to heal perfectly, how to move through life in a perfect way. There's no right or wrong way, but we can really simplify healing. It doesn't have to be this big thing that we show up to and that's an hour long. It can be like simple movements every single day in this beautiful, like supportive, consistent container that helps our bodies remember, oh yeah, I'm safe. I can breathe. I can relax. Like I just noticed my shoulders were up here. That's my body signaling to me, hey, like take a breath. Everything's okay. So go ahead, type in the chat, how did that feel for you? What was that like?
Ahí para hacer como un mini resumen de lo que dijo Kat, ¿verdad? Cuando pusimos las manos en el pecho, ahí muchas veces está el luto de algo que perdimos, entonces es como que tengamos un niño dentro de nosotros, somos niños en cuerpos de adulto, entonces decirle a nuestro cuerpo, está bien, estamos a salvo, estar aquí, ¿verdad? Y cuando hacemos el shaking es sacudir toda esa energía, ¿verdad? En un momento que estén muy tensos o algo los preocupe, se puede sacudir. Entonces vean cómo tenemos diferentes herramientas y ejercicios sencillos que nos permiten ir liberando el cuerpo e ir conociendo esas sensaciones, ¿verdad? Que a veces solo son recuerdos que traemos guardados y programados, pero cuando logramos identificarlos nos damos cuenta, cuerpo, o sea, esta sensación es solo algo que estamos programados del pasado, pero no tenemos por qué sentirnos así, podemos estar tranquilos y en paz y poco a poco nos vamos calmando y nos damos cuenta de que en realidad todo está bien, pero es muchas veces el cuerpo el que nos da esa señal de estrés o de alerta. Okay.
Beautiful. So like we have been discussing in this whole workshop, stress lives in the body. So we have something called fascia, which is a connective tissue that encases our entire body. It encases every single organ. And when we have a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, a lot of, things going on in our life, like we have a lot of shit. We're human beings and we live in this world. So they can kind of get stuck in this connective tissue. So think of your connective tissue as like a spider web. So when something gets stuck in a spider web, like the spider can't move through. And that's the same thing as our body. You can picture that traffic jam again. Our body is that beautiful like highway of, it's either flowing nice and smoothly or like things are really kind of stuck and trapped. And our body tightens to protect us. And our body is actually really, really intelligent in what it does. And it's trying to, save us from, because it's thinking that like a tiger or something is really chasing us and that we're in danger. So we can help. Like, I really want you guys to feel empowered in like, you can help your body find safety and help kind of like move this stress, this trauma, these memories throughout the body so that things flow a little bit more easier, so that your baseline comes back to here rather than being up here or kind of like down here all the time. Okay, so another exercise we'll move through really quickly. Let me just check the time. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left. So just like we tapped on the legs, there are many acupressure points in the body that stimulate anxiety or stress relief. So there is an acupressure point right in the center of the chest. So if we have accumulated a lot of stress and anxiety in the body, doing this when we feel extremely overwhelmed is not going to jump us right out of something. But if we do this consistently enough, it can help start to loosen what is alive here. And it can start help to like trigger to the body. Oh, when I tap on this point, this is signaling to me I am safe, I'm okay, I'm able to start to let go just a little bit. So this point helps to regulate your nervous system, reduce stress, bring your body back into balance, and it signals safety cues to your brain. And a lot of the times, again, we are so stuck in our brain and we're trying to, again, quote unquote, fix things from our mind. But the body really needs this like support, this touch, this like reminder that we are here in this body. So when we tap on this point, that can be like a quick little reminder to add into your day that, hey, I'm alive, I'm here, my heart is beating, and I am safe. So maybe we just start for a moment to tap on the center of the chest. This is also the kidney point. So like I said, the kidneys, the adrenals sit right on top of the kidneys, and our adrenals are what pump out our stress hormones. So our stress hormones are something that can then trigger flare-ups, autoimmune, weight gain, weight loss, all of these different things. And we want to help communicate to the body that that can shut off, that can slow down. It doesn't have to be on all the time. And stimulating this point can help with that stress response. So just noticing as the mind is racing, maybe we even start to speak to the body, hey, I'm here. It's okay. I can feel my fingertips on my body. I feel myself tapping right here. I am safe. And just like I said in the beginning, and for those of you who kind of hopped on late, if just naming what you're feeling is so healing and supportive. So even as you're tapping this place, you can even have a rant with yourself like, wow, I feel so angry. I feel so anxious. I feel so pissed. Vince is saying like weight loss, I'm, bringing whatever is up right now, right here, naming it is taking like the power away from it and putting you back in the driver's seat, saying, hey, I've got control of this, I have power, and we can do this together now. Is that all making sense? If that is making sense, give me a little like hand raise. And I know Ballet will have to. Okay,
Sí,
beautiful.
rápidamente cuando nos tocamos aquí y decimos, tengo este problema, me está dando miedo esto, no puedo controlar esto, le estamos quitando poder a eso y regresándolo a nosotros mismos. Entonces pueden decir tanto como identificar el problema, me siento triste, me siento ansioso por esto, pero luego uno le habla, pero todo está bien, ¿verdad? Sí, sí voy a poder con esto y el mismo cuerpo va calmando y alineando esa energía que a veces no tenemos cómo sacarla, entonces buscamos qué fumar o qué tomar o qué comer o qué llorar, ¿verdad? Entonces esto nos ayuda a irnos regulando y conociendo.
Beautiful. Thank you guys for like participating, for being here. I know this is a lot of information and sometimes that can feel overwhelming, but like I'm giving each and every one of you your flowers because you are here. And again, like that is the healing piece. You showing up for yourself, you learning and diving deeper into like who you are, what your body needs is so beautiful. Like, oh my goodness, I'm just so proud of each and every one of you. Okay, so the last thing we're really gonna move through and talk about this evening is relating our nervous system to a phone battery. So the smoke alarm detector is a beautiful way to really show us that like our body is constantly communicating. There's nothing wrong, we're not broken. It is all of these symptoms that we're having are simply just ways that our body is communicating and needing support. The traffic analogy is showing us, wow, yep, all of the shit that we've been taking in since childhood, maybe since before childhood, in the womb, generationally, we have a lot of shit that's going on in our bodies, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's simply acknowledging, accepting where you're at, and empowering you to know that you can start to move those cars. They're not going to be there forever. Like you coming back home to your body is showing you, wow, I have this power, I can do something. This last analogy is going to show us that if we have been chronically stressed or anxious for a long time, we can feel completely depleted. And I have been here many times before where I have brain fog. I've like gone through the whole day without even eating, without drinking, without going pee because I'm just like so in like worker mode, or I have completely just shut down and like forgot to simply give myself my basic needs. And again, we can come back to like a child. When a child is not being met with their basic needs, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're crying, and rightfully so, right? Like they're hungry, they're tired, they need that support. And sometimes as adults, we forget that like we haven't been meeting our basic needs. And just by meeting our basic needs can help us realize, or can help us feel like a little bit more recharged. So I don't know if anybody can relate with like, yep, I've gone through my whole day, or I've got into half of the day and I'm like, wait, I haven't drank a sip of water yet. Or wow, I've been holding my pee for so long, like I haven't been to the bathroom. And those are signaling to your nervous system too, like, hey, I'm not safe here because we're not meeting or like listening to the body. And so we can think of our bodies and our nervous systems as a phone. So think about when your phone is like completely dead, it shuts off, and then you plug it back in and it goes only to like 10%, and it's like not really working that well. And it's because there's just so many tabs open. It's been running for so long. It hasn't had this like rest or break. And so giving yourself so much grace and acceptance for exactly where you are can help the nervous system feel like, okay, I can take a little pressure off myself. I don't need to be perfect. I'm here, I'm safe. Okay, is there anything, Valerie, you wanted to translate before I move into the last portion?
Sí, bueno, rápidamente, nada más que a veces cargamos el teléfono un poquito, pero igual tiene todas las aplicaciones abiertas, entonces no funciona tan bien, así funcionamos también nosotros. Por más que queramos, bueno, ya ahora voy a estar bien, voy a descansar, a veces necesitamos de verdad como apagar ciertas emociones, controlar las circunstancias y muchas veces Kat decía que cuando éramos bebés nuestros papás no nos dieron la atención que necesitábamos, entonces a veces como adultos tampoco nos damos esa atención, entonces trabajamos mucho y mucho y no nos damos el tiempo que necesitamos de pausas o así, entonces como adultos tenemos esa responsabilidad de cuidarnos, de darnos esa atención de nuevo y reconocer que nos lo merecemos.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's check the chat. Okay, so the last thing we'll move through are our feet. We can feel so ungrounded and so stuck in our head, but we have thousands of nerve endings on the bottoms of our feet. And as a massage therapist, like, we really, people will come in and tell me, like, oh my gosh, my head hurts so bad, my neck hurts, my back hurts. I need help. Like, I need, to release this tension. And sometimes, like, starting at the feet can actually release the tension because all of our organs have a point that live in our foot. So think of your body as a phone and think of the earth as the charger or the outlet. So again, we are constantly being overstimulated with phones, with screens, and we are energy beings. This is a lot of energy. Being on your screen, getting 200 emails or text messages a day is a lot of energy. And like, you guys have the beautiful beach. In Costa Rica, you have, it doesn't even have to be outdoors, but when we stimulate the bottoms of the feet, we can really start to connect to the ground and just like be open to receiving support from Mother Earth. Think about a tree or flowers. They bring in so much nutrients from the ground, and we are a part of this planet. We are part of this earth. And sometimes we forget, like, wow, I have access to that. I can go outside and I can plant my feet in the ground and take a few breaths to help my body ground into this moment. And I know it can feel really hard and challenging because we're so in our minds that it's like, oh my gosh, that's something else to do on my to-do list. But if you leave with anything from today, grounding is something that has changed my life. I notice like how much more overstimulated and anxious and stressed I get when I, don't take my time outdoors or go for my walks or like ground into this earth. So if you have access right now, I know again, some of you are driving, some of you may be still sitting at work. But if you can, take the bottoms of your feet and just place a thumb at the arch of your foot. So again, like we tapped on this point right here, the kidney point. There's a point in our arch. And again, there's no right or wrong. There's no perfect point. Like wherever you really like feel tension, that is somewhere to start. But there's points on the feet that can connect to that kidney, that adrenal gland. And if it feels safe and comfortable, you can close your eyes. For me, that helps me like drop into my body a little bit more. But when I was initially first in my healing journey, closing my eyes actually felt really overstimulating and like ungrounding for me. So this is such a beautiful space to really start to understand and learn like what feels safe for my body or what may not feel so safe. So again, you always have the option to just look gently down at your feet and just place your fingers at the bottoms of your feet for a moment. No pressure, no manipulation, no force. Just simply noticing like the texture, the warmth, what is here. And then go ahead and take a slow breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, see if you can just press into the arch of your foot a little bit more. And so all we're doing right now is help opening up that fascia that I was talking about in the previous slide, that connective tissue. And when we can start to open up the connective tissue again, the emotions start to flow, our bodies start to operate, and that inner physician turns on. So taking another slow breath in through the nose, and on your next exhale, see if you can press just a little bit deeper, softening your fingers, your thumbs into that area. And maybe we even send a little bit of gratitude to the feet. Like they have gotten you around today. They've done so much for you. Again, without you even having to ask them to move, they move. Then you can take just gentle circles, massaging the bottom of the foot. And because our fascia is an entire connective web of tissue that encases our entire body, we can feel openings in other places. So a lot of the times when I'm working with my clients and I start on the bottoms of their feet, their backs, they say their back feels like it's opening. And there's another way. We don't have to just use our hands. You can use a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball. You can use a foam roller if you have access to that. But the thing that I like to remind all of my clients is like, we always have our hands. Our hands are so magical, and we can always help the body find a little bit of safety with a little bit of pressure. Again, like think of a child. When a child is feeling overstimulated, ungrounding, stressed out, we most of the time go up to the child and put a hand on the back. Maybe even we like gently touch their feet or their ankles just to like help them feel safe and here. And we can think again of ourselves as a child, like in an adult body. We are really longing for this like connection, this support, this like feeling of being held. And you have that power with these magical hands of yours to do so. So go ahead, drop in the chat again how this felt for you. Did this resonate? Did this feel like it was helpful? And we're right at 9 o'clock, so that is beautiful. On the screen, you'll see my Instagram page. It is Soulful with Cat. I can type it right in the chat. I would love to stay connected. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I talk and send some more like tips and tricks on the nervous system. I go way more in depth about my story and how I literally transmuted so much shame, so much chronic anxiety to freedom, to liberation, to just like a completely different life for myself. I offer one-on-one somatic coaching sessions. If this felt helpful for you, we really dive in a little bit deeper. And the last thing I want to say is like, if you take one thing away from today, I want you to know that your body, again, is not broken. Your body is simply communicating to you that it needs help, that it needs support. And like you being here is so empowering to learn about your body, to learn about your nervous system, to learn how to, understand what's going on. And building a daily self-promise with yourself can help start to find safety in your body. So if there was like one thing that felt helpful, maybe it was the neck rolls, maybe it was, the last practice that we did, making that a daily promise to yourself to do every single day can help the nervous system, again, like find the safety and be like, wow, yeah, I'm showing up for myself. If there are any questions, I know Vale will want to translate some of that, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Bueno, sí, rápidamente en los pies es donde podemos liberar más, donde se abre como el canal para liberar la tensión del cuerpo. Entonces solo poniendo los pulgares en los pies podemos trabajar desde ahí. Y su cuerpo les va a dar muchas respuestas. Ella quiere que entiendan que su cuerpo no está roto, simplemente es una señal de escucharlo y comunicarse. Y no sé si tienen alguna pregunta, puedo alguien que la tenga en español también o en inglés. Anímense ahí a preguntar. ¿Quién se manda a hacer una preguntilla?
Okay. Well, I know some have hopped off. For those of you that are still here, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. Like, I give you so much gratitude, and I'm just so proud of you all for showing up, doing the work, and learning and understanding about yourself. Ballet, is there anything you wanted to, any last words you wanted to say before?
I just want to say thank you. Each time that I hear your work, I learn a lot and I get to know better my body, and that's why I bring you here with the people that is also working with me, because I want to share it, how much you have helped me. But thank you so much, Kat, for your information, and I hope that we can continue like doing something maybe in the future, like to continue
Oh, yeah.
learning of this.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful night. And again, you can always message me on Instagram if you got my Instagram, or reach out to Valet. She has my contact information. I'd be happy to chat more or answer any other questions that may have popped up that we didn't get to touch on today.
Thank you.
Of course. Good night, everyone.